Hello, everybody. Let's see. Oh, I guess I have to keep it this way. I'm actually in the process of buying a house with my husband. So my yoga space is temporarily out of commission because it's being packed up, but it will be packed up and moved into a new location. So we're gonna look a little boring for the next probably month or so until I get all that squared away. But that's not the important part. The important part is the content and the things that we discuss and do in this video. And so always looking for new and creative ways to take advantage of scenarios. So tonight I thought, what better way of hosting our yoga class than using a wall? So I would recommend trying to find a sturdy and strong wall that you can use for your practice this evening. Charming's gonna probably be joining us as she plays with all of her toys that she's collected around me. So, all right, I don't see anybody yet in the stream, but I think I'm just about at 8:30 if I'm correct. Let me see. Yep, we are 8:30 on the dot, so I'm gonna stick with the time because I always tend to run over anyways. All right, so we're gonna start just leaning our back up against the wall as a nice support for when we do some breath awareness here in the first part of our practice. You can have your legs crossed just like this, or you can put the feet sole to sole together just like so. Whatever is more comfortable for you. I'm gonna stick with the crossed legs today. My hands I'm just gonna have resting on my lap. And what I want you to try and feel is the connection of the back of your head kind of right around the mid-back area. For my females, that bra line is a good targeted area. The lower back does not have to necessarily touch the wall. The lower pelvis kind of down by the buttocks, that part should. So I'm actually gonna shuffle back a little bit, and that's gonna really help you feel what kind of good alignment in sitting is. And this is really hard to achieve when we're just kind of sitting in the free-floating space. So we'll take our hands and just rest on our lap, and go ahead and just close your eyes for a moment. Take a few cycles of breath in through the nose, and out through the nose. I've already felt my head drift away from the wall because I have that tendency to be forward head and neck. So see if your head is drifted away and reconnect the back side up against the wall. Let's take our next breath in through the nose. Let's let it out through the mouth. Very nice. We're gonna take those arms and we're gonna have the back side of the arms, see if you can connect them up against the wall. Hi, Charming, please. She wants to play. Connect the back of the walls. Connect the back of the arms up against the wall, and then see if you can flip the palms up so that the forearms are connected. You may not be able to get the forearms connected, but some part of your hand. This is going to help open up your chest and just start to bring some space. You might feel like your head and neck want to jet forward, but try to keep it connected with the wall so that you've got that nice alignment. This is a kind of a modified goddess posture, at least for the upper body. So this is a great way, again, to open up the heart center, to challenge the arms, to be in a nice opposite position than what we're used to throughout the day. And we're going to do a couple wall slides here. So you can slide the elbows down kind of around your ribs and connecting them like so. And then we can push the arms up. It's going to be really hard to straighten them up much past that 90-degree line unless you're really fantastic with your shoulders. And we'll just slide them back down. Let's use an exhale to slide down and an inhale to slide up. Now let's take this last exhale down. And we just release the arms. I'm going to walk my arms forward and just stretch them out into a fold. Charming's going to apparently help me. Just just taking your forehead into a relaxed position. Hi, baby. And then we're going to start to walk our hands back up to a nice upright position. So from here out, I'm actually going to have my legs up the wall for most of this. So I'm going to try and just speak. It's going to be difficult for me to rotate my head back unless I move the camera a little bit. I suppose I could do that. I suppose that could work too. Let me take you guys over here. Okay. So position yourself so that you can get your bottom up against the edge of the wall and the legs up the wall. So I'm going to kind of start like this, lie back down, and then get the legs up like so. Oh yeah, that's awfully close, isn't it? Okay. So first of all, legs up the wall is a very therapeutic position. It's very beneficial for the body, and it helps to balance out your spine and helps with your hormones and your chakras. So it's very therapeutic just to be in this position. In fact, for your final Shavasana, this is a fantastic option if you wanted to take it this way. So I guess we're gonna get really creative today. So with the legs, we're going to start by doing a rotator stretch. So we're going to take this leg and cross it over the top of the thigh and then slide that leg down so that you come above the knee, and you can use your arm for an assistance. Right here, you might already start to feel a stretch, and you could add a little counter if you still have available room for more stretching, and drop that heel so it comes down the wall. And now you've got perfect support where you don't even have to hold yourself in this stretch. The wall is holding you. There we go. This is YouTube at its finest, right? I did not plan for this. This is all improv. And so now that I'm here, I really can just be passive, and I can breathe and relax. I could also add a little bit of pressure against that knee to really help open up the pelvis. For some of you, it may be more comfortable to pull the knee closer to the chest, so you can experiment with which direction feels right. This is a little bit more of the outer thigh IT band. When we push out this way, we're going to get more of that piriformis muscle, the one that typically gets blamed for a lot of our sciatic pain. And you see that I didn't really have to bend this leg too much to get into this stretch, so it's a really fantastic way to just relax. This is the equivalent of our pigeon posture, or supine pigeon is what it's called when we're laying on our back, but we just take out all the effort, and it's fantastic. Let's go ahead and start to prepare for the other side. So you can start by, if you have this leg bent, just start to straighten it out, and it's easier to come out of that posture that way. Stretch it out. You might even just move that leg around in a couple circles to just get the fluid moving around through the hip. I'm going to take the other leg, cross it over the top of the thigh, and then slide that heel so it comes down past the knee. You might have to give it a little bit of an assist. This again might be enough for you. If it's not, then you can just slide the heel down. This one is far tighter on my left than my right, so it takes nothing to get into this stretch. Just a tiny little slide, and it's effortless. It's just great. I can use my hand right here to just gently push against that knee. Thanks, Charming, for your tail. And trying to provide that little added bonus stretch. My dog, she's so funny. This is such an important stretch for your body. It's so essential to really help maximize your pelvic health, your leg symptoms, any kind of back symptoms. It's just going to feel so good. Let's take one more big cycle of breath here. And then we're going to take that leg that we had started to bend, go ahead and straighten it back out, and then you can slide the other leg up the wall, just kind of make a couple circles with that leg so that we can move that synovial fluid back around. And then we're going to take our knees into the chest just as a little counter pose. So we're just going to slide both legs down against the wall. Now my feet are against the wall. I can use my arms to just kind of add a little extra hug, but you don't really need a ton of it because the position of the wall is already doing it for you. If you've got a tummy or bigger ribs or bigger chest that kind of becomes in the way, you can move your feet out a little bit wider. And this is getting in a little more of a happy baby groin stretch. but it does help to open up some of the lower back area, and it feels fantastic. So if I take my phone and just kind of slide it back, you can see that I've got my feet up against the wall like so. And it just feels great to have that support and to feel that stretch, not just on my against the wall, but you have the support of the floor. It's really a dual support. And we're going to probably come back to this position a couple more times just as an in-between. So we're going to take our feet and we're actually going to slide the soles of the feet together. So it's going to look like this, and then we're going to butterfly the legs out like so. You can slide the heels up or down to kind of adjust what feels comfortable for your body. There we go. Sorry, I'm going to keep adjusting. And then the hands, you can take them and to push them against the knees. I personally cannot stand this stretch doing it from seated. It just feels not comfortable at all. But when I do it up against the wall, it just feels fantastic because again, you've got the support of the floor as well as the support of the wall, and you can really feel a good groin stretch without straining something else in the body. So feel free to really just push against those knees, trying to bring them a little bit closer towards the wall. It should feel really nice. And even though we're using our arms, we want to prevent that shoulder rounding so that we're also keeping good posture. So you might even practice that chest opening and trying to have a nice open heart. And so as I push here, I'm still trying to squeeze those shoulder blades so that I keep good spinal alignment. And over time, you might just get those legs to get closer to the wall. And you can experiment with, again, sliding them closer towards your groin space too, because that's another way to deepen this posture. The beauty of these wall stretches is that really anybody can do them because you've got such great support. So I hope you're enjoying these so far. my one viewer, probably my number one Lynn, I'm guessing. All right, so we're gonna take, hi Charmy, thanks. I'm gonna take our hands, bring them to the outside of the knees and close your knees up like a book, because that's gonna be a little bit easier to get out of that posture. So then we end right back in that knee to chest stretch. Now this next one is gonna be a little tricky if you're just on a flat wall. If you have a doorway, that would be better. So I happen to be at the edge of my hallway here. So I'm just gonna kind of shuffle myself down the hall. Okay, we're gonna take a nice hamstring stretch. So I'm just getting a little bit closer. My right leg is the one that's on the inside of the wall, so I'm gonna let that straighten up against the wall. My other leg, you can either let it bend or you can let it straighten out. So what you can't see is that it's going down the hall. And this is just bliss. I mean, this is a great way to get that hamstring stretch that you really desire. It's just effortless. You can see that I'm still flexing my toes just like we do in a seated forward fold in order to get that really good inhibition on the back side. But if you wanted to just have it relaxed and let the pressure of the wall be your stretch, that's great. Now I'm pretty limber. Obviously this is what I do. Got a low battery sign. Sorry, I had a low battery sign. Your stretch may be here. You may be far away from the wall, and this may be where you perceive your stretch, and that's fine. My stretch is just a lot deeper, so I can get to that 90 degrees. And this is a nice way to kind of chart your progress and measure your stretching as you go. The wall can be a good reference point for you, maybe how high the heel can reach up against the wall. So very nice measurable goals. And we could add some different heart openers here if we wanted. We could let our arms come out into a T position to enhance the sensation. We could do the goalpost, again, trying to mimic like we were up against the wall. Maybe it feels a little bit more easy because we've got gravity just taking us here instead of us actively holding our arms up against the wall. Very good. Let's go ahead and just start to bend that leg, and let's take it just around the outside of the rib area so that you can really tuck it in. I still have my other leg out straight, so this is just another supportive knee to chest stretch. enjoying that bone? She brings like all of her toys to this area when I'm teaching. She's just got like, I don't know, I'm surrounded by toys right now. Okay, so this is where things get a little fancy and tricky. So I'm gonna release this side. I'm gonna just wiggle away from the wall. And for me, I'm just gonna rotate this way so that now I can use this part of the wall space as my support. So I'm gonna lay here and put my leg up the wall this way. I've got a really nice cold tile floor that I'm laying on, so you could prepare by putting a blanket or using your yoga mat. It's fine for me, the coolness feels nice. So I have my leg up against that wall. Here's my leg going straight, helping to sure, get that nice deep hamstring stretch. Again, flexing through the toes and just breathing into the body. You might choose to bring your arms out into that T or into the goalpost position just for another passive chest opener. All right, let's go ahead and take that straight leg that you have. We're gonna just start to bend it. I'm gonna bring it around the outside of the ribs so I get that nice needed chest stretch. Thank you for my assistance, Charm. Hi, baby. You want some love. This is needed chest with dog pet asana. See, she's got her little stretchy going on too. She's her favorite. She stretches her belly and I rub her belly at the same time. We're helping each other out. It's partnered yoga, except she's stepping on my hair. Okay, so I'm gonna rise up. Now, thanks, Charm. Come over here, please. So this next stretch, I'm just gonna preface it with it's pretty deep. So if you don't have carpet, I would suggest getting something soft to kneel on. This is a deep quad stretch. So if your knees don't bend really deeply, I'm gonna show you something else that you can do instead if you don't wanna use the wall. But you're basically gonna slide, no Charm, no toy right now. You're gonna slide up against the wall and we're gonna take one leg and you're gonna start to bend it so that the instep comes up against the wall. And then this other leg, if you can get it forward into this little lunge position, that's great. And you can already see, thank you, no you can't see because Charming's in the way. You can already see that this heel is coming close to my buttocks here. Now, if I wanna intensify that, I can kind of stand up and lean up against the wall. It's such a deep stretch. If you feel wobbly, like I feel a little wobbly, so what I'm gonna do is take my front foot and just heel toe it out to the side, so I'm widening my base of support. So this is again a nice, really deep quad stretch that you can get right through the hip flexor and quad. And you can try and sit the spine up as tall as possible. That's gonna really enhance this stretch. If you wanna stay here, but I just wanna show you the alternative if that's too much. You can just simply skip the wall, lay on your side, grab that ankle and foot and pull the leg back like so, and that's gonna get you that really nice quad stretch as well without the wall torture, because this is kind of deep. And again, you could always come away from the wall a little bit if you don't want quite as deep of a stretch. Otherwise, you slide that knee real close. And I'm getting right back to where I started. Perfect. How are we doing for time? Good. We're doing great for time. You can see you're kind of getting a nice stretch through this leg as well, but the predominant stretch will be felt in the front of this hip. Oh yeah? Feeding my hand. All right, let's change to the other side. So I'm gonna come back down towards the floor and just slide this leg down, slide my left leg down, and then just swap position. So I'm sliding my right knee back, here you go, Charm, bringing my other leg up and forward, kind of widening it, knowing that I probably need that little width. And now I've got that really nice deep stretch on the other side. I'm gonna kind of push up and away so I can really feel that deep stretch. Hi. Oh. Thanks, Charm. You wanted to get my attention. You got it. Whoa, man. She loves going under legs, so I should have known better. Again, real-time yoga, just keeping it authentic. Thanks for that. All right, let's go ahead and take this side down. So I'm gonna slide this leg back, slide this leg forward, come out of that stretch. We can lean back on the knees and come into a child's pose for a moment. And let's rise back up. I want to show you another stretch against the wall for your chest. This one feels really good. So you can do this standing or kneeling. It's really kind of up to you, whatever you feel like doing. I'm just going to try and do it kneeling. I'm going to take my palm and put it up against the wall, and my other hand over here is bent so that my elbow is pushing, and I'm going to actually push my chest up against the wall and rotate away, and that's going to really help get a good stretch on this right arm. Stand up, stagger my stance, and get a little bit deeper. So you can see that this is another way that you can do this. And we'll start to untwist coming off of the wall. I'm gonna slide this arm in this way. I know you guys can't really see, so I'll come back down. And I'm going to use this arm right here to push against the wall. And I'm still trying to push my chest up against the wall so that I can get that really nice chest opener. Great. And then we're going to push off of the wall. You can do this next one either in kneeling or you can do it standing. I'll show you both. It's like a modified downward dog, so you can get that really nice shoulder stretch without all the pressure going through the wrists. So if I'm kneeling, I can have my hands up against the wall, kind of walk my knees back and drop my chest down and my head and neck down, and you can get a really fantastic stretch on the front of those shoulders. You can lean your hips back. This feels great in kneeling. Okay, let me show it to you in standing as well, which I might just angle my camera up a little bit. There we go. Oops, didn't mean to flip my camera. There we go. And then if I did this in standing, you can have the hands slide down the wall, drop your chest. You can widen. There we go. You can widen the position of your legs so that it helps with the SI joint and giving it a little bit more support. So you can bend through your knees and lean back, or you can have them straight and leaning forward. It's really kind of whatever feels comfortable for your body. I'm trying to let my chest drop down so I can get that really nice extension on the spine, an area that we're all a little bit tighter in. You could also take your hands and just keep walking them down the wall and float yourself into that downward dog then to see how it feels actively. And I haven't done a downward dog yet today, but this one feels great because I just warmed up very nicely for it. I'm gonna walk the hands up towards the feet, bend through those knees, and let's lift up and rise. Lifting up through the arms, releasing the hands back to the heart. The other thing that you could do with downward dog is have your heels up against the wall. So we're gonna start with our butt up against the wall and actually lean, and then fold forward, which is a nice way to feel support folding forward. And then I'm gonna walk my hands forward and my heels back so that they actually come up on top of the wall. This is another nice modification for downward dog because you get to really feel those heels in contact, and it helps to lift the tailbone up without having as much strain. So another great modification. And then coming out of this can feel really nice because you've got that wall for support, so you can drop the feet down, walk the hands back, let your butt come right up against the wall, even edge your feet forward, and then you can use the wall to squat up against, and either walking your hands on your thighs or using your strength to rise up. Very nice. I think we've got just a couple minutes left. Yes, I'd like to take a little moment for Shavasana. So let's decide what position that you'd like to be in for Shavasana. And so it might be legs up the wall like I showed you in the beginning. You might just decide to lay on the floor just as you normally do. Whatever position feels the most comfortable for you. And I'm gonna let you guys decide your position. I won't be laying down because I would like to take you through more of just some guided visualization and breathing. So as you find yourself comfortable in your version of Shavasana, see if you can just make a little adjustment to feel even more comfortable. There's always something that we can do, either bending through our knees a little more, opening our heart, flipping our palms in a different direction. Take everything in your face and try and scrunch it all up together so that it comes really close to your nose, and hold that scrunch for just a few seconds. Let it go. And feel how all of the tension in your forehead, your jaws, your cheeks, your mouth just completely release. Allow yourself to feel a softening traveling from the top of your head, moving into the space above your eyebrows, moving into the space at your throat, moving to the space in your heart, softening the space in your stomach, warming and softening the space in your sacral area, and finally traveling down to the base of your spine at your root. And your root connects all the way down your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, and into your feet. Your feet connect you with the earth, whether the soles of your feet are resting on the surface you're on or the back of your heels. Let that connection pull into the center of the earth. Feel that sensation of grounding. Feel the entire backside of your body and all of the points of contact. It's in heavy. The back of your pelvis, your upper back, the shoulders, the back of your head. Feel a nice heaviness pulling and grounding you to the center of the earth. And at the same time, feel a lightness and flotation through the front of your body. Again, traveling from the crown of your head, through your third eye, your throat, your heart, your stomach, your lower belly, your root, the front of your thighs, the front of your shins, the tops of your feet, and then cycle back to the sensation of heaviness and pulling on the back of your heels, the back of your calves, the back of your thighs, the back of your pelvis, your mid-back, your shoulders, the back of your head. Feel free to continue with this cycle of lightness and heaviness as you keep scanning your body. This form of meditation can be used at any point in your day. Thank you for allowing me to take you through your practice this evening. The light and honor in me respects and honors the light within all of you. Namaste.